So I read an article today, and I'm just going to quote a little bit from the article. As the American Protestant theologian Reinhold Niebuhr once quipped, nothing is more absurd than the answer to a question that is not asked. It has become common practice for Catholic secondary school religion, meaning high school, curricula in the United States to begin with the life of Christ before exploring the universal human needs and questions that he claims to be the answer to. Is it any wonder that so many young people leave the faith behind once their natural inquisitiveness starts to rear its head? Well, since you're not in school, students, you're homeschooled, you're not even necessarily learning the life of Christ. But the point of the author of this article is don't answer a question that's not being asked. Christ is the answer to a question. But if you haven't thought of the question, the answer of Christ makes no sense. So here's what I would like you to do today. Since this is our final week and my last week of making these videos for Living Scripture, for Homeschool Connections, and my website is classeswithkevin.com. What I would like you to do is I would like you to ask a question that troubles you in life. It doesn't have to have anything to do with religion. Just submit it on Moodle. 1. And 2, make a comment or ask a question about one of the readings. Because as I say, I've kind of figured out that some of you aren't reading the readings. You're just watching these videos and probably watching them at double speed so you could get through them quickly and so that I sound like a chipmunk. Because I love Alvin the Chipmunk of the Chipmunks. Anyway, so that's your 2 things that I want you to do. Number 1, what question bothers you? Doesn't have to be a theological question, a question that you've wondered about life now that you're getting to a point where you're becoming adults. And then the second assignment is say something about one of the readings. I'm not going to say a word about any of the readings. So you're really stuck. You're going to have to read the readings today, or at least pick at random one verse out of one reading and act like you actually are going to make a comment or ask a question about that one verse. You've got to at least try to fool me. That only goes for the 25% of you who don't really care. But for the rest of you, really, it is interesting to me. Have we been just answering questions that you're not asking? Has your exposure to the faith just been an ideology that's being shoved down your throats and not what it is historically and spiritually, an attempt to figure out the meaning of life? Because if it's just another program, if it's just another thing you're being force fed, well, then to heck with it, really. But if you've got questions that perhaps this Bible starts to address, then it becomes more important. But if it doesn't answer any of your questions, if you don't have any questions, or if your questions lie in other areas, or if all you care about are superficial things, then don't bother reading the readings. Just watch the videos and try to make me happy for the final week. So what's going on in you, in your heart, in your soul? What's going on inside of you? And don't give me platitudes. The other thing I've noticed with these homeschool kids is they feed me platitudes. They feed me the party line. They tell me the things that they think I want to hear about how, the something to do with some saint or something to do with some dogma in the catechism or this or that. I don't care about that. I care about what's going on inside you. What do you wonder about? Let me know that. And then say something about the readings today, because this is our final week. More tomorrow, God willing.